Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, a.k.a. PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, sports. It is NHL Draft week. You're going to have opportunities for a lot of players who have worked very hard to have the chance to get called their name at the 2018 NHL Entry Draft, June 22nd, 23rd in Dallas, Texas. And I'm speaking to a bunch of players that will have the opportunity to have their name called, and I'm speaking to a forward. He's a University of Notre Dame commit. He played for the Dubuque Fighting Saints in the USHL. We're talking to Alex Steeves. Alex, welcome to Popternative.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. Crazy year. Had a very, very successful year in the USHL. What were kind of some of the things that you did this year to kind of adjust your game because it's your draft year?
I think it was just a lot of coming into my own. It was my third year in the league, and every single year you kind of learn more and more things, like, for example, playing the D side of the puck and stuff like that, and systems and whatnot. So I didn't really – one of the things I adapted was, like, just kind of get, like, a shoot-first mentality, and really, like, have confidence in myself that I can produce and stuff, and that confidence kind of just came from the work I put in the off season prior and the years leading up to it.
Mm-hmm. I understand that, and it's pretty tough because you look at the amount of just like you're going to school, you're playing hockey. There's so many things going on. You're not just playing hockey, you know what I mean? Or you're not just playing school. So how were you able to kind of balance all of that? And I've heard from a lot of other players, they found that school kind of helped them kind of with their hockey as well, because it allowed them to become more organized and get things ready to go, so they'll be ready to go on the ice. Do you agree with that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, school, that's for our whole family. It's really important to us. That's one of the huge reasons I chose the University of Notre Dame, just because of the academic institution it is. But I think it's just like for all hockey players in the USHL, like juggling the school and the busy schedule of hockey, it's kind of like a maturity thing. I matured like pretty early, like when I was 16, just because I had to juggle that stuff. And I mean, it is tough to handle, but we get a lot of help. Like in Dubuque, we had a academic advisor, and she helped us out a lot and kind of juggle like missed classes and stuff. And it's hard, but at the same time, I thought it was nice just because going to college, school is obviously going to be a big part of it. So being able to start that early in juniors, it was nice.
Well, absolutely. Who is Alex Steeves on the ice, and who is Alex Steeves off the ice?
On the ice, Alex Steeves is someone who's just really excited to be at the rink every day. Like in practice, I'm probably like the loudest guy and cracking jokes, but also keeping it serious, really making sure everybody's kind of going hard and stuff. And I think I'm a two-way player, more so leaning towards offense. I can kind of describe myself as like a generator, kind of getting the puck into scoring, grade A scoring situations, whether it be for like myself or my teammates. Off the ice, serious student, but really outgoing. And I just kind of like to, when I'm off the ice, I'm usually thinking about hockey, though. Hockey's a big part of my life.
Oh, absolutely. What are some of the things that, not things, I mean, moments, one can make an argument that, we're going to University of Notre Dame, which is a great school of fighting Irish, the NHL Draft around the corner. I mean, there's an opportunity to have amazing moments, but what moments have you had so far in your career that stand out? Top 3 moments of Alex Steeves' hockey career thus far?
First would probably be breaking into the USHL when I was a sophomore in high school. It's funny, I actually the way it works is there's a phase 1 draft, and I did not get drafted. I was really upset about it. But then I ended up making the USHL the next year anyway. So that was just kind of an early example of just the odds kind of being against me and being able to break into the league, and I actually got to play with my brother and meet a lot of really cool teammates. That was pretty special. This winter, I had the chance to play for Team USA at the World Junior A Challenge, and that was incredible. Like, it's always been a dream of mine to wear the USA jersey as much as I can, and that was really the first time that I got to do that. And it's something that I'll never forget, and hopefully I can do again. And third, just my time in Dubuque was awesome. I started off in Sioux City, and then I got traded at the beginning of my junior year. And my 2 years in Dubuque, when just coaching staff, Jason Lammers, JB Bittner, Oliver David, Paul Kirtland, the coaching staff was unbelievable. And some of the teammates I made were just, I'm going to be friends with them forever. So it was just, my time in Dubuque was unbelievable.
Absolutely. What I find really interesting is we talk about a lot. You see, whether it's USHL, whether it's college, whether it's CHL, whether it's some, younger players playing in Europe. What I find interesting is, you're all kids, you're all young, you're getting bigger, faster all the time, but you're seeing, this 17-year-old kid, like a scouting report, Alex, you're saying this 17-year-old has an NHL shot. He has an NHL stride. You know what I mean? I guess that's just a testament to like how amazing and how far on-ice training and off-ice training has come, basically. There's all these amazing things. Like, people are getting incredible help off the ice and on the ice with these new incredible training techniques and everything. What have you kind of noticed about that? Do you agree with that? About how just the training has just changed completely in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think it's hockey's one of those sports where your gifted talent can only take you a certain amount of the way. And I don't even think it just like is even just hockey. Like, you look at guys like Kobe Bryant, and in like documentaries and stuff, he talks about like how much time he spent training and stuff. So then you see a guy at that level, and you see what it takes, and then it kind of makes you fall in love with the process of like working out and diet and stuff. And then I think the biggest thing is just like, once you start doing it and once you start getting results, that just makes you even more dedicated to it. And I think it's one of those things, like, it's training for hockey. Like, it can be tough at times, but like for me, it's really not like work. I don't consider it it's what I want to be doing. So it's just, the more and more you train, the more you get out of it. That's the beauty of it. So that's something that I've really tried to get down to a science over the past few years.
Oh, absolutely. Who are, I know it's kind of tough because a lot of players don't really want to, like, Alex Steeves probably wants to be Alex Steeves, but are there some players that you kind of specifically watched growing up that were kind of influences and inspirations in terms of the style of play that you play?
Yeah. I think, it's kind of a very unoriginal answer here, but Sidney Crosby for so many kids is just like, he's just like the mod. And I'm not saying I compare myself to him. He's definitely not my player comparison, but just like the way he performs on the ice, and then you hear about how he is at the rink, and guys like that, they really just kind of set the way. But in terms of a player comparison, I never really started thinking about who I wanted to play like until the past couple of years. Now I try to watch a lot of Pittsburgh games because I try to kind of emulate Jake Gensel a little bit. And then also when I can, I try to watch some San Jose games because Logan Couture, I'm also a big fan of his game, and I've taken a little bit of pieces from their book just from what I've seen on TV and trying to incorporate that into my own game.
You commit to University of Notre Dame. What were some of the reasons for picking that school? Did you always want to go the NCAA route since you were a kid? Talk a little bit about that.
So my dad actually played in the WHL. Both my parents are Canadian, and he also played Canadian college. So for me, it was the Q. It was always an option, and actually my older brother and I really entertained the idea. for a little bit, and then I was drafted by Gatineau, and it was definitely an option for me. But once I started talking to schools and went to some college hockey games and stuff, and just like the student sections and stuff, and then eventually I led to my choice in Notre Dame. Now I haven't played one game for Notre Dame yet, but I have absolutely zero regrets in terms of choosing the NCAA, and that's something that I'm definitely set on.
Mm-hmm.
But the reasons I kind of chose it was just kind of the blend of academics and the hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame, I'm lucky enough to be going here, and the hockey program is really just blossoming right now. And like my brother was on the team last year, and they made it to the national championship game. A year before, they made it to the Frozen Four. So I think Notre Dame's really here to stay now, and just everything here is just really done to a gold standard. And that's kind of funny to say because of the gold dome here. But just all the football program, and all the other sports, it's just everyone is really successful, and it's definitely where I want to be.
It's funny because there was actually a Steeves that was the goaltender for Gatineau Olympic a while back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he went the Canadian college route after Q, but I find that very ironic. But yeah. So you mentioned your brother plays as well. Was that kind of helpful in the sense that but I mean, maybe not as helpful because maybe you guys had different games or different routes and different directions, but it must have been kind of cool to have someone to do the journey with by your side, right?
Yeah. Both my brothers, my little brother and my older brother, they're my best friends. We spend so much time training together and spending time together that we fight, but we get along. So it's been nice to have Matt. When I was breaking into the USHL, to have him, I was really nervous, but he really helped me with that process. And now coming to school, like for example, this weekend, like I can imagine it'd be a lot harder being a incoming freshman and having a lot of questions, whereas I can right away have my answers just because Matt's been through it. So really, it's just he's kind of a shoulder to lean on. At the same time, though, like I treat him like a teammate. Like when we're here, like I don't try to make that a distraction or anything. Like during the season and stuff, he'll be a teammate just like everyone else. So it's something that's really nice, and I'm sure my parents are happy about it as they have less places to travel. But it's really nice.
For sure. Well, we'll wrap up, but I'm gonna ask a final question that I ask a lot of players that will have a chance to be drafted on June 22nd or June 23rd. Why should an NHL team draft Alex Steeves?
An NHL team should draft me because I think I'm actually just kind of discovering myself on the ice, and I have a lot more to get better at. And I'm someone who is actually going to really put in the work and do my best to get there. And also just because hockey is the only thing that I want to do. It's what I love, and I want to hold on to it for as long as I can. And if I'm lucky enough to be drafted on Saturday, that's something that it'll be nice at the time, but I won't see it as, oh, I made it. It's something that I'll keep working towards until it happens.
Absolutely. Well, Alex, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Where can people follow you on social media?
Instagram and Twitter.
And what are the handles?
Handle on Twitter is Steeves_Alex, I believe. And I want to say Instagram is just Alex Steeves, but I could be wrong on that one. I don't think there's many Alex Steeves out there though. So if you give me a search, it'll probably be easy to find.
Perfect. Well, Alex, all the best, and no matter what happens on Saturday, just enjoy it, man. And we look forward to seeing your journey begin, man.
Thanks. Really appreciate you having me.
No problem. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for the video episodes. iTunes, Spotify for the audio versions, popternative.com for other content as well. And until next time, this is Alex Steeves and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.